Welcome to our next video. So as we have discussed in the last video, template form validation. So how we implement the template form and its validation, how we implement those. So in this video, as discussed, we will be talking about reactive forms. So as you already know, like we have two types of form. First is the template and second is the reactive. So template form supports the two-way binding, but in case of the reactive, it doesn't support that. And it has extra configurations also required to achieve forms and its validation also. Okay, so let's see in detail like what are the things we have to do. Okay, I'm going to create a new component for this. Ng generate component, then let's say comments. Okay, so component is created. Let's create a route also for this time. Comments component, which will be my class name, route name, comments. Okay, next thing I have to load this also in home page, which is my container for the nav bar. At the last, I'm adding that route. Let's save everything and check if we have the routes working. So on click of comments, you can see comment works has been printed. So means comment component has been rendered into our Angular application. Let's close all of this. So first thing, like if you in the previous session you might have seen, to use ng model we need forms module. Okay, if the forms module is not present in the import section of our app module, you cannot use ng model. Okay, and same to use reactive form module, we need to add reactive forms module in the import section. In the import section we have to add this. If you don't have this, you will have the error in the console. Okay, so to use reactive form you need reactive forms module in your app module. This is the first step. Second step, let's go to our comments section, comments component. Let's create a form. Okay, so for after the first step, second step will be like creating a form instance. Okay, so let's say comment form colon its data type form group. Okay, so if you can see, just I have selected, so import has been automatically added. Okay, so this is just declaration. We have declared comment form with the data type of form group. Now in the constructor we need to add elements, like what are the elements I am going to have or the controls I am going to have in this form. Means suppose username is, or what we can say, comment id, comment name by username, comment date, anything. What are the input element you are going to have, you have to create controls for them. Okay, so this dot form control is equal to new form group. Okay, curly bracket, round bracket, then a curly bracket, enter. Okay, let me zoom a bit. View. Okay, so first section we have to create the declaration of the form. Then in constructor or in another method also you can add this. So let's say username colon new form control. Why are we having this? New form control, after that round bracket, then value, what initial value you need to give. Let's say taken contact number, again new form control, opening closing curly bracket. Okay, so for now we have added two controls in this form. So our form group name is comment form. In that we have added two controls. One is the username and the second is the contact number. So this is way how you create a form. Okay, on the component level. Then in HTML we have extra things to do. So in here, let's design a form. Class row div class call md5. Inside that, let's design a form. Okay, so this is a normal form tag. We have to use this same in the template also if when we have to apply the validation. Okay, so inside the form tag we have to use the name form group. Form group. So to this form group value we have to pass the form name which we have created. Comment form is our form group name. Okay, after that we have to, like in the template form also we can create the submit function, right? So here that event is ng submit, and you can pass an event. Let's say save comment. Let's create the same event in .ts also. Okay, after that let's design form. Let's take a row, call md3, label user name, and we need one text box. Let's add a bootstrap class, form control, then placeholder name. Then so what is the main difference we have with the template and the reactive? Okay, so main difference is we don't have to use the ng model. We have to use form control name instead of ng model, and here what we have to pass the control name which we have created here. The control name is username, first one. Okay, let's close this also. So this is first control, then second one contact number. Here we need to pass second control name. Okay, so after this the row, let's have another row for submit button. Six button, save comment. Its type can be submit because we have a form submit method here already defined. So if you don't have, you can keep the type as button, then you can write the click event over here. Okay, both are the same thing, anything you can do. Let's provide a class. Let's make it in the center. Okay, so let's save everything and check. So you can see we have two. Why it is so small? Okay, we have taken form this 6. Let's make it as 8. Let's make it as 6. 6. Now it will look fine. Okay, so let's add a padding also, some 3. Okay, so you can see we are missing something. Row column d6. Let's make it 12 so it will be in center. Okay, so we have two fields. So if I inspect these, you can see name property will be like what we have given. Okay, so here you can see name, the property which we have given. In second, contact number. Okay, so let's add a debugger into this event also to check like what data we get. Debugger, let form data is equal to, now what are the values we have put into the form, we can get that using this dot our form name dot value. So let's see. ABC. Okay, so on click of save, you can see the same object. Okay, so the two form control we have, and we got the property name also, that control name and the value also. Okay, so if you can see form control, I'm hovering over on the form only. So you can see in the control, you can see two controls like contact number and the username. So you can see the difference also, like errors, status is valid or not. Since we have not applied any validation, so it is valid. Okay, touch, like we have seen in the previous, like we have added the touch property and the dirty property. So same you can see here, value you can see, value you can see here. Then we have some event callback also, like value changes, we want to check like if value is changed, so we have to implement this. Okay, so there are number of methods also again. So this is the way how you get the form. Now we have completed the basic implementation of the form. Second thing is right, applying validation. Okay, so in template form you might remember we have used basic HTML5 like required min length on the HTML itself. Okay, but when we do the things or validation in the reactive form, everything about the validation we need to do in the component level only. So we need to use array. So if you can see here, validators dot required means whatever we have done in the required, same this is nothing but the same. Okay, then validators dot min length. So min length, let's say 5. Okay, after that for contact number also, let's add validators dot required, then validators dot min length, then let's add maximum also. Okay, let's add another field where we can see the email validation also. So after this, email, new form control, let's add a demo. So whatever you provide here, that will be rendered at the form. If you need some element, if you need some control to be initialized with default value, so you can do like this, validators dot required comma validators dot email. Okay, so now you will get to see email validation also, email. Okay, so let's create another row. For third one, let's add this control, email. Okay, so you can see once the form load, what we have provided the default value, it is rendered here. Okay, so let's check. I'm providing values, email, I'm keeping it as empty. Once I click on the save, let's check what is the form value. So you can see status is invalid. Okay, because we have one field which is email, it was required but we haven't provided value, so it is, the form value is invalid. Okay, so let's check in control also. This is contact number, it is invalid because we haven't provided min length and max length. Then email again invalid, name will be only valid. Okay, So in each control you can see what is valid and what is not. Okay, let's check how to apply the validation. Okay, so for validation, as we have seen in template also, we need one div or span. Let's take a span. Let's add a color, text, danger. Okay, and we need to hide and show this upon certain conditions. So what we need to do, we need to use form name dot controls dot username dot touch property. As we have seen in the debugger, like we can get this property true and false. Okay, so if this element is touch, or we can say user have clicked on it, then only this property will be visible. Okay, after the second check, let's make it a div. Inside this div, let's take a multiple span as we have seen in the template. Okay, for this span, first check will be for the required. Okay, so comment form dot controls dot username dot errors dot required. Okay, so if this is true, then we have to show like this is required, this is required. Same as it is, we need second span to showing min length error. So I'm going to copy paste some of the code. So after required, we need min length. Min length is, what is the min length we have set? 5. Okay, so let's check this code. If I click on here, if I go outside, this is required, the first span. Okay, but if I'm providing the value which is less than 5, so you can see the second validation is visible. Once I provide that much, it will go away, but still button is enabled. So as we have seen in the template also, we need to use disabled form, disabled attribute is equal to, now we have to use the form group name dot valid. So I will show you like what is the difference now. So you can see it is still enabled because disabled needs a true and opposite value. So now it will be disabled. Once I provide the proper value, so you can see if I remove this, or else let's add a, what we can say, pattern also. Pattern is not correct, still it is disabled. Okay, so let's show that pattern error also. Let me copy paste basic code. Instead of require pattern, I think email is there. Let's check it. Sorry, email is not working. Let's check pattern. Okay, we need, okay, username. So we need here email. So email is only the, okay, so it was with the issue. So you can see first this is required will be shown. Once I provide email not proper will be visible. Okay, so and button is also disabled because this value is not provided. Okay, So these are the various rules you can provide while validation. Okay, one more additional check in your .ts event. Okay, here you can check again, like same thing we have done in template form also, this dot template form dot valid. Okay, if it is valid only, we can show error alert like form submitted, and else we can show error. Let's check this also. Okay, if someone still removes the disabled attribute. Okay, so like I'm removing this disabled attribute and clicking on the save. So as you can see, the form valid is false, so it will go to the else block and we show validation error. Okay, so on HTML you can disable the button, but on event level also you can again check. So before sending data you can check like form is valid or not. Okay, so let's add a proper data. Save comment. So now you can check form data, you are getting all three parameters, and if it is valued, so form submitted. Okay, so this value you can send it to your API also. So this is about basic form implementation in reactive form. Okay, the example we have seen is using form group. We have another method using form builder we are going to see in the next video. Okay, it has some advantages. Performance wise both are same, just the way of writing things are different. Okay, so thank you for watching this video series. Please like and do subscribe. Thank you.